All right, are we ready to start this review?
As ready as we can be.
All right, hang on, I gotta get one thing.
What are you doing?
Okay, now I'm ready to do the review.
Why?
Because I'm pretty sure that we're gonna get beat up pretty bad. Okay,
Yay.
here we go. This is a review of the REI Quarter Dome Air Hammock.
Yeah.
We've kind of gone head to head with the REI and the Ridgerunner today.
Yeah.
The reason we use the Ridgerunner is because it is the standard for a bridge hammock. We've had this hammock for what, 2 weeks?
Yes.
Right off the bat, we noticed some really great things, and there's also been some not so great things. So, right out of the package, what did you think of the quarter dome hammock?
I think right out of the package, I liked that everything was included. I liked that it was the tarp, the hardware, the everything. I remember when you were going with the Ridgerunner, you were like, well, here's my hammock, and here's my hardware, and here's my tarp, and it felt like you were never, like this endless spree of buying things just to go with a hammock. So I like that the REI had everything combined, but you talk about tarps and getting the right size. This tarp it's pretty small. It's small.
Way too small. It's fine if you're just gonna take it out on a beautiful July afternoon when there's no rain or snow in the forecast and you just want it for shade. It's probably fine for some light rain, but any real weather, it's just not gonna cover you.
I mean, aesthetically, it's pretty nice. It's a classic REI bright color, and it has the ridge line, which is super convenient.
One of my biggest beefs with the Ridgerunner is the fact that there's no ridge line in there. Now, I'm one of those guys, I have to sleep with my cell phone.
Yes, has to.
I can't go to sleep unless I'm watching something. But I also like to hang up, you know, if I have any like a damp socks, or if I have a flashlight or a headlamp or something, I like to be able to hang stuff above my head. That option isn't available in the Ridgerunner. To me, that's a huge, huge, huge negative. And I love the fact that REI included, there's 4 tie-out points inside of the hammock, and you could easily put a string and run it down the middle of that and have a ridge line. So I think that's awesome.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
All right, let's talk about weight.
Weight.
Weight's always an issue for backpackers.
It is. I don't think about it a whole lot because I don't do a lot of backpacking with you.
Yeah.
I do more of the car camping, but you are very concerned about weight.
The REI hammock comes in at just over 3 pounds, which to some might seem heavy, but again, it's an all-in-one system. What surprised me the most is my Ridgerunner with the Cloudburst tarp, which is the one that Warbonnet recommends, and the hardware came out at over 4 pounds, which was shocking. I know some people online have claimed that they have lighter weights, but they haven't sent pictures that I know of. So I don't know if I trust them. But I was a little surprised when I saw that the hammock, the tarp, and the hardware was over 4 pounds. So I think REI actually is taking it in the weight department. Until you guys proved me wrong, I knew this is one of the things, the weight. They're gonna kill me on the weight. They're gonna kill me.
Well, maybe our scale needs to be calibrated.
Your scale. My scale's perfect.
Oh, perfect. What about buying from REI versus a boutique store? When you order this hammock from REI, you're going to get it in 2 to 3, 4 days. But when we order something from Warbonnet, because they are making it right there, it can be anywhere from 1 to 3 weeks.
Yeah, if you haven't planned, you got a trip coming up, or a buddy wants to come along who doesn't have a hammock and you need to grab it real quick, you know that you can get it from REI real quick. So, again,
Pros, cons.
big store, boutique.
Buy local.
Yeah, we get it. We get it.
We do.
Okay, let's talk about comfort. All right, I have slept in this thing. I've slept in this 2 nights, and the first night was not a good experience.
Right. You had a problem with your underquilt, right?
Yeah, so I put on the Warbonnet Yeti underquilt, which is a 3/4 length underquilt. No problem with the quilt itself. It went onto the hammock fine. It kept me warm. However, this is the biggest beef that I have with the REI. If you want to use an underquilt, any underquilt, you're going to be laying in the trough of the hammock, and it gives you a lot of shoulder squeeze. You see this line here? Okay, I think this is where they intended a pad to go. Because last night, I mean, I was really squeezed into this thing. What really got me is when I tried to get on my side and side sleep. Like this is horrible. Like this, I got this like arm here that there's nowhere to put it. Nowhere to put your arms. And you're really tacoed in this thing. So I think if I just add a pad to this area here where you can see the outline, that'll bring me up a couple inches and eliminate all this shoulder squeeze. I was uncomfortable the whole night. It was the first time after checking this hammock out that I was like legitimately bummed out, because I thought that REI had hit a home run until I slept in it with an underquilt, and then it took me back to like, I almost wanted to send it back.
What about night 2? How was your second night in it?
So night 2, I took my Nemo pad, which is it's a big thick pad, and it solved all of the shoulder squeeze issues. The pad redeemed the hammock, but I want to talk about the problem with using a pad.
Oh no, what's the problem?
You have to use a pad with this hammock, and that in and of itself is a problem if you're a backpacker. The Ridgerunner comes in at like 35 inches, and this one is around. Huge difference.
True. Space, weight.
Yeah. So how do we reconcile that? That the hammock is great, but it requires a pad. Where does that leave it? Summertime camping?
Summertime camping.
I'm thinking that if this is your first hammock, more than likely you already have a pad in your garage somewhere. And so this is going to be just fine, right?
Okay.
Because you buy the hammock for $219 and you don't have to buy an underquilt because you probably already have a pad. So I think if this is your first hammock, home run. I think REI hit a home run for the first time hammock market people.
The novice.
The novice.
I think that is the camping industry. You want to try hammock camping, you go into REI, they say this is a good starter hammock. You get the starter hammock, you figure out if you like it, if you don't, and then you move on to the Warbonnets, to the custom made, the Ridgerunners, they get everything just the way you like it. And that is how a lot of people get into any kind of sport.
Yeah, I can see that. Which is a bummer. I kind of wish it didn't need to be that way, because it would be great just to be able to buy something at an affordable price and have it work exactly as you want it to. And I think REI was so close. I want to talk about hardware for a second, because whoever designed the REI hammock has obviously been watching the hammock industry. Why? First of all, the tarp. Look at the pullouts on the tarp. The tarp is suspended by 2 guy lines that have what appears to be a Dutch hook on each end. Okay, obviously they have checked out Dutch's stuff. It's got the little hook, super convenient. All the guy lines have these little pullouts, so it's really super simple to get everything nice and tight. You don't need to buy any Dutch hardware with this stuff. You don't need the wasps and the fleas and the stingers and all that. They have it all included. The hammock comes standard with carabiners and whoopies, suspension. It's already there. So the hardware on this thing, very well thought out. For the price that you're getting it, it's a great hammock, great hardware, easy setup, lightweight. But why in the world didn't they just make it a little bit wider? You would have hit a home run. All right, another thing I want to talk about is the high walls. A lot of guys online have been talking about how high these walls come up on the side, all right? For me personally, I don't have a problem with it. It doesn't impede your view, especially if you're using a pad. You're still up high enough that you can see everything around you. But it allows you to get your, you know, some of us don't like to sit and lay like a mummy, right? Some of us like to put our knees up, especially if we're just relaxing in the hammock before going to bed. So in the REI hammock, I can put my knees up and I still get plenty of protection from the weather. Whereas in the Ridgerunner, that cat cut is so low that if I put my knee up at all, I have lost all protection and my knees are going to get cold immediately. So that's another, I think that's another pro for the REI hammock. I'm gonna go out on a limb here, and I'm gonna say pound for pound, dollar for dollar, hardware, price. I think the REI is a better choice. I think the REI is a better choice. I do. Let the madness begin. All right, are we done? Thank you for watching. My name is Evan.
My name is Allison.
And we hope you like this review. If you do, hit that like button down there. Hit the subscribe button. We got a lot more coming. And we'll see you guys later. You want to wear it?
Oh yeah, it's perfect.
Glasses.
Oh, glasses.
Glasses. Now you're ready.
My ear has been